a choice. You can always choose to say I'm failing, or you can choose to say it's just kind of sucky right now. I'm going to make it better.
Welcome to Breaking Down Your Business, episode 314.
Brad's shoes are off.
You can find the show notes for this episode at breakingdownyourbusiness.com/314.
You say that so fast. Just noticed it for the first time 314 episodes in.
14 practices at it.
Yeah, that's true.
And we probably threw some away.
Brad, how you doing at Anchor Advisors?
Anchor Advisors is good. It's
That's
good.
awesome.
I've had a lot of transition this year.
Really?
I moved my office, and then I moved my house.
Holy
And then I'm
moly.
moving my office again.
No.
Yep.
Ugh.
I'm moving to a home office. We've gone all virtual.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congrats and welcome.
It was funny because I looked up one day and I thought, I'm the only one that comes in the office. Why do I have an office?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So
home office life is fun.
it's sweet. Yeah.
And lonely and fun.
Yeah, I'm learning to plan lunches and things that will get me out of the office. And
Oh, it's like you're homeschooled now and you go and play with the other children.
right, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
I plan play dates.
You do. But that's what we have to do.
It is what we have to
Or we
do.
lose touch with
So
reality.
today, Jill, I've got a topic
Mm-hmm.
that we can only talk about because we're old.
Okay. Thank you. Cool.
Well, it's something I've been thinking about lately, that there are certain advantages that come from being in business for a long time.
Okay.
And that I didn't, when I was starting my business, when I was young in business, I don't think I ever thought about the advantages that come from just staying in something for a long period of time. And
I still don't think I'm doing that.
okay. So I was thinking about the people that I hung out with, that I networked with
Yeah.
when I first started my business.
Yeah.
Are you picturing those people for you that were there, like at your first founding model
I am
exchange?
now.
Okay.
I am now.
How many of them are still around?
None of them.
Exactly.
One.
Right.
One.
Right.
And she's fantastic.
So one thing that happens when you've been in business for a long time is that you realize a whole bunch of your competition is gone. Like by having done it for a long period of time, you become like the top person in your field because
You're pointing out that is the first time I went, oh no, I'm old. Because the fifth or sixth competitive organization that I was worried about disappeared.
right.
And I thought, oh gosh, I've been around long enough to watch them come in and leave.
Yeah.
And I'm still here. It was more depressing than exciting.
Interesting.
Let's just put it
now,
that way.
see, the fun. What I start thinking about is, well, of course, there are other people starting competitive businesses that I don't see because they're working with 30-year-olds
Smaller, younger.
because
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
30 when I started this
Oh.
business, right? And so they're still out there, but by growing more mature in the business,
Yeah.
I compete with a different group of people, and it's a much smaller group of people than it was when I was just starting my business.
Interesting. I think I'm in a different industry where there's a lot more competition now for me. And the internet has made it so that people look much fancier and further along than they actually are. But the nice part about being seasoned is I can see somebody's website and where everyone else will go, oh, wow, I know now. Well, this isn't going to work.
Yeah,
Like, they're not going to be
can
around
say,
very long.
I made that mistake, and
yeah,
I made that mistake.
was us,
and
that's why we're not doing that
That's
now.
right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
So the other thing I think about is that the friends that I have kept, the people that have survived, like I've been working with them for 10, 15 years. Like these are golden relationships that I've
Yes.
kept, the ones that have survived,
Yes.
right? And I value them like nobody else, and they value me like that
Well,
same.
you have history together.
Right.
It's like I'm imagining it's like being like war buddies. You've gone through some serious stuff. You guys have all made it through.
That's right.
And you still know each other and you still get along and you still all have things in common.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know that no matter what I'm facing, I can pick up the phone and call them. And I didn't have, like when I was first starting out, I knew these same people, but I didn't know that I could just pick up and be real with them and say, I'm having this problem and I don't know what to do.
Oh, because you can be more vulnerable now that you
Yes.
guys are in this longer.
Right.
Are we just talking about this so that we can feel old? Is this...
No, I'm actually thinking that if someone had told me that 15 years ago, maybe I would have called those people.
No. I just was on, I'm not joking, 5 podcast interviews in the last 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
And on
I'm
every...
really sorry for you.
I know. On every single one, they were all fantastic. The advice I gave, you always get the question, what's the advice you give other entrepreneurs? I said consistently across the board, patience. Because if you know you can just make it... What I didn't know at the time, I'm so impatient as a person in general.
Really?
Just be quiet.
I didn't know that.
I have no patience for you today. But if I had known, just stick with it. And I don't know why I knew that at the time. But if and I try to tell everybody, patience really is a virtue.
Mm-hmm.
You really, if you just wait through the tough stuff, you're going to come out okay. Too many people don't believe it and disappear, or are hard on themselves, or tell themselves I didn't make enough money in this amount of time, so I'm out. I tell that all the time. I don't think anybody hears it.
So I actually think...
I wouldn't have heard it.
I actually think that there's a specific time when people can hear that, and it's when they feel like they need to quit. And if you could say to them, it's the hour before dawn. Like,
right.
Good things are coming if you can hang on. Because I do think that that's true, that when things are at their very worst...
Right.
I mean, there are times when that's not true, when you just don't have a business that's ever going to go, right? And
well, how are you supposed to weigh that? Business is never going to go versus
I think you need outside help. I think you need other people because you're so much the frog in the boiling water, right?
Yes.
And but when we're at our worst, when we're feeling like quitting, is when it's the hardest to reach out and say, I just don't know if I can keep doing this thing.
Which is another reason I run an organization based on mastermind groups, is you got to see people and know that you're not. I was about to say you're not failing.
Yes.
But that's like a choice. You can always choose to say I'm failing, or you can choose to say it's just kind of sucky right now. I'm going to make it better. Because you can. You're the owner.
Right.
There's no... it's all on you.
Yeah.
And you're the one who can do it, and you can, and you know what to do, but it just feels terrible.
So another thing that I thought of that's great about having survived for a long time is... when I first started out, the only people that could hire me were people that I basically chased down, sat in front of, and talked to them about hiring me. Oh my God,
the chasing that I used to do.
Exactly,
Unbelievable.
Right? But now, I've chased so many people that probably 4 or 5 times a year, someone just calls me up and says, Brad, we need to work together. And sometimes it's someone that I talked to, 10 years ago, right? Or it's a client that I worked with 5 years ago. Like, there's a business development advantage for being around for a long time where seeds that you've planted a long time ago finally come to fruition.
Oh, yes.
And that is so awesome.
I love, that's like the TV show, that very old TV show. It was in black and white, but they would bring back all the people from your past life.
Yes.
I forgot what it's called.
This is your life.
This is your life. And I kind of already feel that way. And I know I have a long way to go in business, but I already feel like, oh, yeah, Johnny from, 2001. Yeah.
So there's another thing that I can't decide whether it's an advantage or a disadvantage. You know how when you were 20 and you're like, I could be the president, or I could be an astronaut, or I could be, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then now when I'm 50, I'm like, I'm not going to be an astronaut. I'm not going to be the president. Like, there are certain things that are not open to me.
How is that an advantage?
Well, that's in my business. There are certain things that I thought I could do when I was 30 that I'm like, I'm just not going to do that thing. I know.
How does it make you feel? Does that upset you, or does that make you feel relieved that you don't have to be the thing you thought?
Mostly it makes me feel relieved, but it makes me wonder, should I be more open to some of those possibilities?
Can you give me an example? What are you talking about? What did you think you could do? Because I don't think there's anything that I thought I could do that has changed. I still think I can do all the things. I just don't know if I'll get to them. I'm really optimistic.
I tried to start a membership community and it did not work. Now, that doesn't mean...
I've tried stuff that's failed miserably.
Right. And so part of my brain is like, that didn't work, so I don't want to ever try that again. And I think that might be a disadvantage, that I might not be seeing why that didn't work. I have a reluctance to try something.
But this is exactly why we're now going to go back to what we just said, which is you got to go out and talk to people, because I would tell you, maybe you just weren't ready at that point. And in 10 years... I had the
wrong concept, for
you're
sure.
going to be ready, and it's going to launch and go bananas.
Maybe.
Yeah. So everything to me, I guess all of business to me is a maybe.
Because the flip side is also true. Like, when I was 30, I couldn't go on the speaking circuit because I had young kids and I didn't want to travel all the time. But now that my kids are almost gone, I'm much more open to doing, more national speaking.
Huh. That's interesting. The point about life changes.
Yes.
Open your eyes in ways that you couldn't have planned for how you're going to feel when your son goes off to college or your daughter. And Yeah, no,
My third child is graduating from college.
that's disgusting.
I'm telling you.
I also never in my wildest dreams, when my kids were babies, I knew I was going to have babies. I had the babies.
Right.
I never thought they'd become people.
Right.
So now that they're people,
Right.
Currently my 9-year-old is about to put her first book up on Amazon for sale.
That's amazing.
Right? Because she was in my belly once. Like, she wasn't in existence a decade ago. And now there's a person in my life who's writing a book and selling it. By the way, it's called The Best Children's Book in the World. I am not joking. I don't know where she got that title.
I don't know either.
For those of you who are just meeting me for the first time, I have a book called The Best Business Book in the World. Anyway.
According to my mom.
According to my mom. So, still makes me laugh. But anyway, point being that I have children who are actually running their own businesses, helping me with mine. Couldn't have planned for that.
No.
If you had said to me, Jill, they're going to help you one day, I would have been like, Brad, you're crazy.
Which that perspective makes me wonder, like, 20 more years, how am I going to feel? But, like, there are things that I don't even know are going to happen that are going to happen.
Brad, I think we just love aging.
I don't know if that's true.
We just love getting old.
There's a lot about aging that I don't
love
like.
aging.
But it's not about aging. I think it's about experience. It's about having been at this
And
for
aging.
a while.
Yeah. No, I think it's
You can't
actually...
get
You and I are going to
experience without
change the
aging, but-
face of aging. It's going to become a
Oh my
glorified,
gosh.
beautiful thing that we all love and can't wait to get there.
Until we can't stand up for 4 hours because our back
But that's
hurts.
okay. That's why they invented chairs. That's fine. I'm excited. But
So,
yes.
if you've been thinking about advantages that come from being in business for a long time, you should call us at
708-872-7878 or go to breakingdownyourbusiness.com/iTunes. If you leave us a review, we're going to read it on the air.
Party!
I think we crushed it.